What's good, YouTube? What's good, Raider Nation? Wait, let me do it. Let me do it the right way. What's good? What's good? What's good, YouTube? What's good, Raider Nation? For sure, we in the building. Oh, hey, y'all see my dimple? See, y'all you know I have one. All right. Anyway, uh, we are here. We are here. You know what I'm saying? What y'all gotta do is hit that like button. Why? Because I like you. All right? And subscribe. Okay? Go ahead. You know what I'm saying? I know you probably on your phone. I know you probably be doing some stuff on your phone. I ain't gonna say what you be doing on your phone. But go ahead and double tap that screen. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and double tap the screen. You know what I'm saying? And show your man, Raider Twuan, some love. All right. Hey, everybody in the congregation, you already know how it gets down over here. Um, there's no Raider Twuan without the congregation, and there's no congregation without the Raider Nation. All right. Anyway, hey, congregation, y'all know what you guys already. Hey, I don't even have to tell y'all. Y'all already know what to do. Double tap that screen and hit that like button. Every member of the congregation needs to hit that like button. Okay. And if you are not a part of the congregation, all you got to do, it is completely free. All you got to do is subscribe. Okay. We're on our way to 500 subscribers by week one. Okay. 500 subscribers by week one. Again, 500 subscribers by week one. And we trying to smash that. Okay. So if you have not hit that subscribe button, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And you guys already know how we get down also over here. Go ahead and say something in the chat. You know what I'm saying? If you are, I'll tell you right now, if you are in there being disrespectful, I got some deacons that will come in here and make it, you know what I'm saying, do what they got to do. All right. And also, if you come in here disrespectful, and I mean disrespectful, I got some members in the congregation that will also give you the business. All right. So, hey, if you are, you could be a Raider fan, you could be a Charger fan, you could be a Titan fan. You know what I'm saying? We got some people in the congregation that are not just Raider fans. But if you come here talking crazy, okay, it's going down. Trust me. Okay. If and most likely I ain't gotta get to you. Okay. Somebody else is gonna end up doing it. So you know, it's cool. You can come in here and say, hey, this is my team, you know what I'm saying, and this is what I think about my team, you know, and you might have a question about your team, and I'll give you that because I do. Of course, I love my Raiders, but I also study the NFL. So if you got a question about your team, I could be like, hey, um, you know, I'm a so and so fan. What do you think we need over here? And I'll give you my honest opinion. Whether you are a rival or not. Okay. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. You know what I'm saying? I got some people in here calling me daddy. You know what I'm saying? That I didn't think you knew my name, but hey, thanks for knowing my name. Um, but we're gonna get into this press conference. Get in this press conference. You know what I'm saying? There were some things that were said, and of course, you guys know I'm gonna give my Raider gospel on it. Go ahead and hit that like button as we are getting into this. And sound check. Okay, y'all hear that? Put a one in the chat. Actually, you know, as we go along, you will see me, you know what I'm saying, eating the popcorn. Because if y'all know, a member of the congregation, y'all know what the popcorn means. It means I've seen that movie before. Okay, so I'm about to eat some of this popcorn because some of the things that's gonna be said, I've seen this movie before. All right. Anyway, let's hear what Raheem Mostert has to say.
The focus has been details. It's a whole new offense, a whole new scheme for everybody. Even me, I'm going into year 11. I've been around a lot of different offenses in this world, but it's all about details and focusing on what we have to do within the running back group. And D-Mac does a great job. The running backs coach, he does a great job with everything. So the focus there right now has just been details.
It's been about 7 years since Chip Kelly was in the NFL. Were you curious what this playbook was going to look like and what does it look like?
Yeah, no, I was a little curious, but if you watch ball, you know what he did in college. I stayed relatively close. I had a close eye on him, when he was at UCLA and then this past year at Ohio State. So, it's nice to see everything that he can do and put guys in positions to win. And I've learned that from experience as well.
Year 11, when you hear that out loud, what does it mean to you? What comes to mind?
Yeah, my journey, I guess, and just trying to be a shedding light for a lot of different players out there that when their backs against the wall or they have unforeseen circumstances that can transpire in so many different ways that I look at it as an opportunity for them to try to make the most out of it and never look back. That's something that I've been able to do, being undrafted back in 2015, and now I'm here still running full speed, being physical, making plays.
Talk about being that shedding light. You talk about being a shedding light. The running back room, obviously you're the veteran, very young room. What's the biggest piece of advice that you give to those guys each and every day to get better?
Yeah, just focus on the little things. Little things will take care of itself. It's one of those things where the more you can do in this league, the longer you can play. And with those little things, that adds up over time. And so just trying to get the message to the young guys, and they've all accepted it, especially Deuce. He's coming in and he's doing everything we ask him. And, I've been teaching him little nuggets here and there to help his game. And it's been good to see.
From working with Ashton Jeanty, just knowing what he can contribute, what you can contribute, what makes you think that you two can make for a serious dynamic duo?
Yeah, I mean, we're almost like one and the same, right? He has a physical presence to him, so do I. And we're both in the pass game. That's just we try to be as effective as we possibly can. And so I think with us two in the backfield together and being able to utilize our abilities, I think that's going to be a great showing. And then also with the other backs, you got Zamir, who's coming in, and he's hungry. Sincere, he had a stellar year and then got injured, and now he's back and he's going. And even Dylan and both Chris as well. So a lot of guys in the room, they have experience, and that's something that's nice. We're all just trying to help Jeanty out at the same time.
You mentioned that you were kind of a connoisseur of football and college football. Obviously, I'm sure Ashton Jeanty caught your eye.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
What did you, as a running back, did you become kind of a fan of watching him?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, when you have a guy that's a generational talent like Jeanty, right? He comes in and he's doing unbelievable things in the college level and breaking records and close to, God, I'm drawing this blank. Barry Sanders, there you go. Coming close to his record and scoring touchdowns and being physical and doing everything he can, you can see why he's a first round draft pick. And so that just hypes me up even more to try to bring my presence and try to help him. And he's doing a great job. And I've been a fan of him since he started getting on the scene. And we both share the same marketing agency, which is pretty cool. So I got to meet him for the first time out in New Orleans when we got together. So had to sit down with him and we were just chopping it up. And he gave me praise and I was giving him praise. So it worked out. It worked out for the best. So.
Speaking of scoring touchdowns, you've always been a touchdown magnet. What is the key to success in the red zone?
being physical. It starts with the line of scrimmage, and you have to understand where the ball's supposed to fit. Everybody everybody thinks that you could just go in there and just push a pile. You can. I mean, obviously the tush push is working well, right? But you have to be able to read plays and read what the defenders are doing and get them out of position and be able to score. And that's something that I like to bring.
You mentioned that he could be a generational talent. Ashton, what is it about him as a running back that makes you believe that?
I mean, if you look at his stature, everything that he does, he's not that big in regards to being tall, but he has a little more. He's a little wider, and he can put himself in position to maneuver, runs and slip out of things. I was watching his tape when he was at Boise State, and it was just you could just tell the dynamic of him reading and breaking tackles. I think that was the biggest thing that impressed me the most was that he was able to break shed tackles and take it for another 60 yards. That's something that's not necessarily going on out there in the world right now, and for him to be able to do that, it just shows you the type of generational talent that he has, and especially out the pass game too. We've been out here. I mean, just today he caught a couple balls, and you look at it and you're like, man, he's gonna be special.
What are your thoughts on the offensive line?
Offensive line is moving. There's a lot of veteran guys. I know we brought in Cappa. Cappa's been a good fit. Dylan's been excellent. I mean, obviously Colton. He's played in the league for quite some time. So to be able to, and JPJ, setting the standard. So to be able to have those guys up front, man, is definitely paramount in trying to build this thing and trying to make it go. Everything starts with the line of scrimmage, and if you have enough guys that are bought in and they're willing to sacrifice themselves for the greater good, it just shows you how this offense can portray and project into the next level.
What have you seen from the defensive side of the ball? Those guys that are putting in the work just as you guys are.
Yeah, no, the defense, man, they're doing an unbelievable job. We had a stat today throughout this entire process from OTAs onto minicamp where there was 280 something plays. And within those 280 something plays, there was 2,783 punch attempts, which shows you that they're really trying to get the ball out. And we had one that was counted as a putting. I don't like to say the F word. I'm not an F word guy. So once y'all understand who I am, I hate saying that word. So we put the ball on the ground, and it was just that one time. So that's the big emphasis for the defense. And I've been around, even with the Niners, and it was the same thing. Pete came over that Legion of Boom era. He's trying to mimic that over here, and you could tell a lot of the guys are bought into that. Appreciate y'all. Have a good one.
You know what I'm saying? That was Raheem Mostert. You know what I'm saying? Running back. I think running back, he's going to end up being our, right now, it seems like he's going to be our running back number 2. Things that stuck out to me in his press conference, is, he's talking about our O-line moving. They're not just going to be pushing going forward. And then the reason why he's saying they're moving, it seems like they're going to be moving more towards a zone blocking scheme, where actually guards are going to be, they're going to be shifting and pulling. You know what I'm saying? You might even see JPJ at center pulling. You know what I'm saying? So he's seeing these offensive line move and create these holes in front of him so that he's able to run, you know what I'm saying, and do what he needs to do as a running back. So, those are the kind of indicators that you can get from these press conferences that, okay, what is going to be the running scheme, right? We know Chip Kelly can run, he's ran power, he's run, zone, he's ran a lot of run different schemes. One of the things that Chip Kelly actually really does well is that he presents a lot of eye candy, you know what I'm saying, when he's calling out plays. You know what I'm saying? He'll have somebody shift or a motion, or, you know what I'm saying, he'll draw a guy this way, but then the play's going the opposite way. So we'll see a lot of that. Maybe not a lot of that in the preseason. They kind of keep it vanilla in preseason, but we'll see them move. We'll see the basic movements of the offensive line in preseason, and I'm excited to have. He also talked about Genty, and I'm I'm not as high as people are on Genty. I think he's going to be a good running back for us. I'm not saying, he's going to be the next best thing, the best running back in the NFL. But I do like the two. I like the two-headed punch there with Genty and with Mostert. Okay, both of those guys are physical. We know Mostert has the speed. You know what I'm saying? And he does. He has his. He has. You know what I'm saying? I think at one point they were calling him one of the fastest players in the NFL. Um, that speed is still there at running back. I believe the last time I saw in a game, they clocked him. He was going like 23 miles per hour. So he still got wheels. So I'm excited to see, Mostert, and also you could tell by what Mostert was saying is he understands his role. Okay. He knows that he's not the premier back. You know what I'm saying? He knows, look, whatever snaps I get, I got to do what I got to do with them. But also, because I am the vet, you know what I'm saying? He talked about 11 years playing in the NFL. He's the vet. So he's also showing Genty, hey, look, I know you're good. I knew you were good in college, but look, this is what the NFL is going to do. And this is what you need to prepare yourself for, you know what I'm saying, to prepare you for the game. So there's a lot of value there with Mostert. Not only are we going to be using Mostert in the run game personally, but we're going to be using we're going to be using his mind. It's a benefit when you have someone in there that's been there and done it. And it's telling you, hey, young buck, work on this or keep doing that or keep, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, I'm liking Mostert. I'm liking Mostert. I'm liking Mostert. Because I'll say this, even if Ashton Genty, and I'm knocking on wood, if Ashton Genty goes down, I still believe that we're not going to have a heart attack if Mostert becomes our premier back. I'm not saying that that he's one of those guys that will last all 17 games. But if, for an example, if Ashton Genty gets, hurt in week 6, we're not going to be hurting in our running back, you know what I'm saying, situation, because Mostert can be. He can be a premier back. So and not saying that he's one of the best in the NFL either, but I'm just saying he can get the job done. And that's what you're looking for out of a backup, out of your number 2, you know what I'm saying? And then later on, maybe even in your number 3, right? But you guys make sure you hit that like button, double tap the screen if you are on a mobile device. You'll see a thumbs up pop up, and that's how you can like the channel. If you are not a subscriber, you know what I'm saying, go ahead and join the congregation by hitting that subscribe button, and that is free. Let's get into head coach Pete Carroll.
These last couple of months.
Well, we learned a lot. It's been the whole purpose here is to figure them out, figure the guys out, and it's a relationship that we're building on that we need to know who we're teaching and how they operate, how they function, and all that. So the whole time it's been about information gathering. And you would think it's all on the football field, but it's way more than that. And
gone into great depths to try to get to understand our guys, what's important to them, what are their goals and their principles, and how they approach stuff, and so that we can better teach them and reach them. So I wouldn't even know where to start. There's a million things that we've learned. Sorry.
Noticed a lot today. You seem to mix things up, a lot of first team versus second team, and vice versa. What's the method behind doing that?
Today we really played game like. We started. It was 10 minutes left in the third quarter. And so we played all the way through to the end of the game, and somehow the commissioner got it to come down to a tie, which was great. And then because we wanted to go into OT, and we went into OT and had a couple exchanges in overtime as well. So we just tried to log as many situations as we could throughout all of our time together. The last time we tried to go OT, we had a lightning thing that we had to get off the field on. So I kind of overdid it. We had almost everybody got a couple shots in OT legitimately as the clock worked, and so worked out great.
The energy has been something that's been associated with the team for the last few weeks. I wonder, have you been getting that energy out of this group of players that you hope for? And also, the second part of this question, what kind of attitude are you hoping to instill into this team with energy that you would bring?
Yeah, well, these guys have really been accepting to a little bit of the craziness that we're all about and how we do it, and we expect them to be on every day. Every time we go out in the field, they're expected to give everything they got. They tap in before they go out. They make a commitment that they're going to be all in, and then the coaches have to make sure we drive the energy. And so if I'm expecting that, then I got to do that too. And so that's what that's kind of how we operate. And with the thought of we want to maximize the opportunity that we have that's right in front of us every single day, every step we take. And so that may sound like talk to you, but this is how we live, So they have embraced it, and I've been thrilled with the mentality on a regular basis. The coaches really have to set the tone, but we see that we do that until we can step aside for the leaders to take over, and we have strong leadership on this team on both sides of the football, and so it's really important. And the whole idea of the energy thing, or however you want to look at it, is I'm trying to get everything they got, every step they take, and that's a mentality it's really hard to maintain, and it's hard to get there, acquire it, but it's harder to maintain even. And so there has to be an uncommon consistency in what we're asking of them to get that done, and that's how we're operating. And so, as far as we could have gone, we took it. You saw us; we went all the way into overtime and a couple different shots over there. We got everything we can get out of every moment that we had. And these next 6 weeks are huge. These guys have to come back in great shape. I challenged every one of them to be in the best shape of their life. If they want to make the most of this opportunity, they need to go about it with that thought. And so they've all got plans and how they're going to get that done. We'll see what happens when we return.
Accepting the craziness. Well, we saw you wrestling Munford the other day.
I wasn't wrestling. I pinned him.
Today we see a equipment manager
I saw that.
rolling around after stretch. What are the stories behind these things?
Yeah, I can't speak for the bubble thing. They're trying to surprise me with that one, I guess. I don't know. I didn't know that was happening. But they're taking part in it, obviously. This is what we're asking these guys to do. To play as well as anybody that plays this game. We're not setting expectations, trying to win a few games and make some progress. That's not what we're doing here. We're trying to take this as far as you can possibly take it, and see the only perspective that they have heard from me, and that's the only one I can even imagine. I can't even think any way else. And so that means we have to just continue to maximize all of the moments. And so that means I need to keep their attention and keep their focus and keep them going and keep them guessing, whatever it takes. And I was a little concerned because this is kind of like the last day of school. When kids get a little crazy and they do some crazy things and stuff because they know they get out. I was a little concerned about so we addressed that, and they brought all their love and energy today to this effort that we had. And there's a lot to this, that what they put into it demonstrates how important it is to them and how much they respect their opportunity. And it also, what they put into it allows them to present themselves as the best they can to be a great teammate. And that's, you can't have a great team without great teammates on it. And so there's a whole building process to get that done. And part of that is taking part in whatever we ask them to do, as wild as it may be or as nuts as they may think it is. And some of it is pretty crazy, but we made it through it.
Just from us being able to watch, Michael Mayer seemed like a guy that got a lot of touches over the last, however many practices that we got a chance to see. What are your impressions of the young tight end?
I thought Mike had a great a great offseason with us. You know, there was we started out going heart to heart, you know, and him understanding what we're all about. He embraced it and took it, you know, as well as anybody could take the challenge of bringing it day in and day out. He had a great camp, and he was doing well before Brock got here. And the two of them just went head to head, you know, just trying to make a play here and there, and going back and forth. And they were just great contributors. It's a terrific position group for us. Ian Thomas coming in really liven it up as well. So we have a very good position group right there, and excited about what they're going to do. But I thought Michael had a great camp.
Right, so in practice, obviously, you have a lot of rookies that are either with the first team or the second team. Have you been surprised at all with the production of the rookies so far and how they've developed, or do you think it's right where you expect them to be?
You know, the young guys have done really well. The guys that we chose in the draft have all made a mark at some point and show that they're deserve being here. You know, it looks like a really good class all the way through. Both offensive linemen, both defensive linemen, they participated and rolled in with the twos for the most part. Those guys, they held their own. Ashton had an excellent camp, but Dante and Jack, they did their stuff. You know, it's a good looking group, and the idea is to force those guys to play early and make them have to play. And to do that well, you have to ask them to do things they're good at. If you just ask them to try to do everything that a veteran knows, they're going to falter and they're not going to be able to show themselves. But if you do it in a progressive manner that gives them a chance to show, then by the time we get to midseason, those guys can be regulars for us. And so this is not a new process. This is the way I've done it with rookies and freshmen and the whole thing for a long time. And it just depends on how well you orchestrate what you ask them to do. And if they can find success, and their confidence builds, and then before you know it, you got a regular, and that just helps our depth and helps us stay competitive.
Smith throughout camp.
I'm sorry, could you say that again, please?
Okay. What did you learn about Geno Smith during camp?
I can't tell you I learned that much because I know Geno about as well as you can know a player. You know, I was thrilled how he embraced the leadership opportunity, and you know, he's been around me so much that he knows where we're coming from and can step up at the right time, say the right thing, do the right thing. But Geno's a natural leader. He has developed over the years through all hard knocks and the tough ways that he's come up through it all. To be a great competitor, and he knows to be a great competitor, you have to go for it every opportunity that you have, and that's what he's done. And he's just illustrated to these guys that, you know, okay, if you're part of our program, this is what's expected. And I mean, I couldn't ask for a better, you know, partner in bringing the word to our team.
You mentioned asking these guys to do certain things. Ja'Cory and Bennett told us that you're all about the ball, see ball, get ball. How do you instill that into those defensive guys?
Every day. And the first thing I said to him in the first football meeting that we had was, it's all about the ball. And today I started this last meeting that we had. It's all about the ball. It's about how you emphasize it. And it's not just that you emphasize it, it's how well you can emphasize it in creative manners. It's like if you're a teacher and you give this great lecture, you think everybody should learn what you wanted them to learn. If you don't keep coming back to the same messaging and the same teachings, it's likely that you didn't hit home with everybody. So it's the way that we emphasize it, the way we're consistently coming about it as creatively as we can, and whatever it takes to get the message across. Our guys, you know, right from the start, from day one, we had some big lessons about taking care of the football and offense and how they're going to tuck it and lock it and all those things. The guys have just done a really nice job on the other side of the ball in a mode in this offseason where you can't be physical. You know, you can't hit guys. You can't tackle anybody. You have to use your imagination. And so that's sighting the football when you're attacking it and showing that you sight it. And so the gestures that you make to show us that you have a shot to punch at the football or take a shot at it, all of those things are the things we value really highly. And so I think we reported today that it was 2,300 times during these last 10 days that we took a shot at the football, you know. And so that's the kind of emphasis that we need. But it never ends. I mean, they never get it. You know, they can stay with you. You know, and so we have a real clear passage to getting that done, and we'll see what happens. It'll really be the key to our season.
Where do you feel like the team made the most progress over the last 3 days?
I think work ethic. Really, I think the consistency in our work ethic. We came out of the OTA phase 2 when you can only go so far. You don't do so much. And in phase 3, we get to do a lot more against each other and work against offense versus defense. And so they got to transfer, the phase 1, phase 2 to the final phase into this mini camp. But even with that, there's so much restraint on them. It's really hard to do this right because you have to, like I said, you have to use your imagination because you can't make the plays. So sometimes we go a little bit too far. League's aware of how we practice. They know. And we had to stay within the guidelines, which we got done in good fashion.
One of the guys we've heard, at least on the offensive line, credited for bringing the energy and working so hard during the off season as your center, Jackson Powers Johnson. But what about his mentality? Ashes of what you're trying to instill. What's it been like?
He's easy. He's easy to get to. He loves to be jacked up, fired up, and he's got that kind of energy about him. It's in his makeup. It's nothing we gave him. He brings that to us. When we have guys like that, we play off. We try to put them in position so others can see what it's like. Caleb Rogers was a really interesting kid, first time around, but he has big energy and kind of an excitement about the way he approaches the game. It's unique, and so. And I said this maybe to you guys before, but we're looking for the unique qualities that they bring, and we're celebrating the unique qualities by putting them in positions to, exhibit the way they are, so the guys can see it, and they can affect other people. And JPJ he really does have a lot of juice.
There's really four more. We're going to Sean, Nick, Harry, and then up here. Steve, obviously you guys can't play on pass yet, so kind of limited. Can't really truly block with offensive linemen. What's been the focus for that group, and how much progress you seen out of the line?
They've done a really solid job. Really worked on their technique. Really working on the things that you can work on. You can't work on the physical part of it as much as you would like, other than sleds and bags and stuff like that. But BC's done a really nice job of getting all these guys to look uniformed. They step really well. Their hand placement is really good. Communication seems to be sharp. Chip's got a really in-depth, busy plan that we ask these guys to embrace. Fortunately, Gino is kind of the run coordinator on the field, and he changes the things and does the things that we need to do. All of that has worked together really well. So it looks like a good, solid group. A good leadership. Colton, it was great to get Colton out there and be part of it. Saw a lot of DJ Glaze. I thought he had a really, really good offseason with us. He looks like he's ready to go. He's a second-year guy, but he's one of the guys go from year one to year two. They have the ability to make a big jump because they're through the rookie, whatever it is, and the haze, and he's shown that. So it looks like a good, solid group. It's very competitive. We feel like we have some depth, and going to camp is really when we'll know what's happening. My favorite guy out there to watch is Lucky Tassi. He's knows nothing about football when he walks in the door, and he's made tremendous progress, and he's enormous. He's the biggest guy you ever saw, and I think he weighed in the other day 369, and he's learning. And we got to keep an eye on him. It's an exciting process. I don't know how long it's going to take, but he's starting from ground zero, and he's made a lot of progress so far.
We just heard from Raheem Mostert. It sounds like there's a lot of optimism about turning what was the league's worst rushing attack into one of the league's better ones, especially given you love the rookie from the rock. Chip Kelly has had a documented success of doing so. So over recent weeks, have you guys figured out how you're going to maybe divvy up the workload between Genty or Mostert?
They're gonna show us that. When they get their chance to compete. I love having multiple guys play. I'm not relying on one guy. Thunder, lightning back in the day. Whatever it takes to get it done. So we're gonna let the guys play for that. Play for their playtime. Raheem, I love having him. He's an experienced guy that's been a great speedster for years. We've defended him for years. He's been a real nightmare for us. And I think Zamir had a really, really good camp too. He made a statement of being the bigger of the guys. He's really fast, and he's the biggest guy that we have. So Ashton looks every bit what we would hope he would look like. He caught the ball really well. He understood stuff. Took everything really seriously. Gave terrific effort throughout, and we made a big deal to him. Everybody's watching you, and he embraced the thought of it. And so it's going to be really. It's going to be exciting to see what happens. We got Sincere back too, late in the camp period here. He had a couple of really nice games last year, and he showed really good quickness and kind of a knack for running the ball. So when we go to camp, it'll just be game on, and we'll see what happens.
With this phase complete of the off season, how satisfied you are with the roster construction, and also would you be looking into outside options for more competition during training?
You're either competing or you're not. We ain't letting up now. You saw that we just signed a guy, or got a guy committed yesterday, and we're going to keep working it. There's no time to turn away from having a chance to get a little bit better. So we'll be on it.
to ask you about the other guy, Jermaine Pratt. What was it about Jermaine that you guys kind of quickly come to terms with?
Well, he's a really hard-nosed kid, tough kid, played a lot of football, has been really healthy, has played all of the positions to give us a flexibility that really will help us. And so we've been really pleased with Landon. He did a great job of taking over the leadership position and calling everything. And Devin has done a really nice job too to put these three guys together where they're on the field at the same time. That's a loaded up group, and they're all tough. They're all physical. They're all downhill players, which is the style that we love to play with. So I was really pleased that Johnny was able to get that done.
Thank you, Coach. Thanks, everyone.
Got it.
Hey, shout out to Pete Carroll, you know what I'm saying, for getting it in the press conference, letting people know what it really is going on. And I'll say there's a few things I need to say about what Pete Carroll said. The first thing that he said, and it really stuck out to me, and I don't know, some people, you know, sometimes it goes over people's heads, and that's why I'm here, right? To give you my Raider gospel and make you aware of a few things, right? Now, I'm going to paraphrase, but he said something in the tone of, you know, we trying to see what we got. And I think that's the right mindset. You know, as a new coach, he has to, you know, not only do they look at film and say, oh, yeah, we see what, you know, what he's done in the past, but there's a difference when you can actually get a good eye at somebody, right? And along with other corresponding reports that have been put out, some of these players started playing a position and now are moving positions. Okay? And that's because they see that this person is, okay, I think this what we're trying to do, I think this a better suit them. So they're trying to place people where they need to go, right? They need to make sure the right tackles are the right tackles. There might be a situation where one of the tackles might actually be a guard. And I'm talking about O-line, right? So they're figuring all that out in minicamp, or they did figure it out because, you know, obviously today was the last day of minicamp, and, you know, when they come back, then they'll be in training camp. But they're trying to figure all that out so when they do get to training camp, they can hit the ground running. And I see you guys in the chat. I see you guys, you know, put your Raider gospel down. You know what I'm saying? Put your gospel down. I will be looking at that after we finish, okay? So definitely you will be I will be looking at the chat. Okay? But that's what they're doing. And not only are they doing that, but he also said he's giving players their expectations even while they're gone. Okay? So yeah, school's over, but you ain't leaving school without this homework. Because when you come back, I need you to be at this level. Whether it's, you know, getting more familiar with the playbook, whether it's, you know, I need you to gain 10 pounds, or hey, I need you to lose 5. I need you to work that out before we start camp. Because not only in minicamp am I figuring out what position you play, but when we get to training camp, that's going to tell me who's my starters. It's going to tell me, you know what I'm saying, who, when this player gets hurt, I can call on him because he's ready to go as a backup. That's what they're trying to figure out in training camp. Okay. Of course, they're going to, break down the plays and all that stuff, but that's the gist of it. Another thing Pete Carroll said that I was encouraged to say, and you guys see me doing thumbs up. I try not to talk, during the pressers because I want you guys to listen, to what's being said and not make too much background noise. Y'all might have seen me chopping on popcorn, but that's that's just it. That is what it is. Shout out to my deacons in the building. But they talked about Michael Mayer, tight end. And, I was one of the guys that wasn't on the bus of getting rid of Michael Mayer, even though we had Brock Bowers. Because honestly, Brock Bowers and Michael Mayer, that looks lovely. I wish my cousin was on this live because lovely is one of the words we use. Just it's an inside joke, but yeah, looking lovely. Okay. He also talked about Ian Thomas, which was another guy that I never really said much about, on lives, but I was like, hey, what I see from this guy, he can definitely be our third. So I'm good with our tight end room, especially when it looks like they are looking to really use Michael Mayer. Not just as a blocker, but actually really use him as a tight end, catching and blocking. So I'm excited about that. I know Brock Bowers is going to get his, but it just presents a whole nother weapon. Everybody loves Brock Bowers. You know what I'm saying? But Michael Mayer is a different tight end, different style of tight end, but still a good one. And I've said this before about Michael Mayer. He could be a starter on another team. He could be another team starter. So to have Brock Bowers and Michael Mayer and then sprinkle Ian Thomas here and there. Okay. And Michael Mayer talked about it in the on media day. 13 personnel. What is 13 personnel, you might ask? 13 personnel is when they use 3 tight ends. Okay. Everybody knew last year, everybody was so excited about the 12 personnel, and 12 personnel is 2 tight ends. So we'll see how creative they get with the tight end room. But I'm not having a heart attack if Michael Mayer is out there. So it is really encouraging to hear that Michael Mayer is doing his thing in camp. Especially, and I don't want to get too much into it, but I'm just going to salt bay it a little bit. After all the stuff that Michael Mayer went through this past season, it's really encouraging to see how he's bouncing back. Okay. The other thing Pete Carroll talked about was competition all the way through. They're going to do crazy and fun things that are going to be competitive and all that to pull the best out of these players. And that's what we need. Okay? That's what we got to get, y'all. And he talked about running backs and he talked about Zamir White. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Zamir White, y'all. He said he wasn't even asked about Zamir White, and he brought up Zamir White. Okay? So be ready for that. Be ready for that. All right, let's go ahead and get to the next one. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Go ahead and double tap the screen. You know what I'm saying? If you are watching this and you somewhat understand what I'm saying, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. All right.
Brought a little Raider with me. I hope that's
Oh, hey, by the way, nah, I'll wait. Go ahead.
stay hydrated post practice.
Great questions.
Speaking of staying hydrated, just being out there in the Vegas heat, I'm sure this is a little different. You were close used to it last season, but how have you seen maybe new guys just get adjusted, including your
Alex Cappa. This is Alex Cappa, y'all.
brand head coach?
Oh, I'm getting adjusted. I don't think Pete has to get adjusted. He brings energy like nobody else. So I think he's ready to roll. But it's an adjustment, but it's an advantage if you use it the right way and condition the right way. So it'll be good.
What are your thoughts on Brandon Carroll, coaching staff, and how everything's been going for you so far?
It's been awesome, man. This coaching staff really has like unmatched energy from what I've seen. Every day they come in ready to work. We come in, we have a good time, and we get work done. So it's been a lot of fun, and we're just getting started, but it's been really good so far.
The situation was kind of unique. You were able to get into this building further ahead of normal free agency type of thing, because of the way it worked out. How beneficial was that to you? And it sounds like it was pretty quick that this was the team that you kind of wanted to go.
Yeah, it was awesome. They reached out right away. I have a lot of respect for Spy Tech and how he does things. So it's been great, and I'm still learning for sure. It's new for everybody because new staff, a lot of new players, and everything. But so far, it's been really good.
Devin White yesterday spoke about how important John Spytek was to be here in the building, that he wanted to follow him. Was that the same case with you, or was like Spy was a big deal and then everything else fell in the right place?
Yeah, I mean, it's just a great opportunity. I think it's a team with a lot of potential. Play football, that's right. And like I said, I have a lot of respect for him and how he operates. He wants to bring in people who do things the right way. Oh, yeah. And him and Coach Carroll, we all want to do things the right way. And so that's what I'm about too. And so I think it's been a good fit.
The other day, Colton Miller talked about just how dynamic this offense is. From your perspective as an offensive lineman, how do you view this offense and what it asks of you guys?
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, we can just do our job up front, but obviously it starts with Gino. He's a great leader for us. Really operates everything really well and gets everybody on the same page. And then obviously we got a lot of playmakers. So.
Pete Carroll was just talking about how. I actually had a question.
Football do okay, but that's good.
Pete Carroll was just talking about how players are buying in also in interesting ways because they have a new way of doing things. We saw a bubble out there with an equipment manager inside of it. He's wrestling off the lineman, stretch. What have you seen? Just guys adjusting to this unique way of coaching.
I mean, he really starts it like with energy. He demands energy from his coaching staff. He brings it every day, and then it's contagious throughout the building. So, yeah, that was an interesting one today with the big bubble. But every day we start practice with high energy. And it's an everyday thing. It's not an act with him. He really brings it every single day.
You're a player that's used to a high level of play for yourself. Last year, maybe there was a little bit of struggle, perhaps. How do you respond to that? How do you respond to maybe a year that didn't go the way you wanted it to?
I mean, every year I'm trying to get better. And all you can do is trust your process. I trust the way I work. I trust the way I compete. And it's not always going to go your way, but I mean, I'm going to keep working. I'm going to keep doing what I've been doing. I have confidence in myself, confidence in this team, and things will be good.
What's some things you've had to kind of adjust to when it comes to Chip Kelly play style, and what's some things that you like about what he brings to the table for the offense?
It's a versatile offense, so we do a lot of different things, and so at the beginning it's kind of hard. Just kind of learning it all because we put everything right away. Right away, we had a full offense going, and the way he calls is a little different than other people. Okay. But it's dynamic for sure. And so once you understand it, it allows you to operate at a high level. It's a different offense to learn, but it offers a lot of options for us, and it's definitely going to be good.
Other than Max Crosby, who on the defense has stood out to you?
We got a good defense, though. Adam Butler, obviously, is a high-level player that people don't talk about enough. Jonah's been really good. Who's got a good defense, too? There's a lot of good players out there.
I was growing up in Dublin. Did you follow the Raiders?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Big fan, or what do you remember about them?
All my family's Raider fans, dude. So I was a Raider fan when I was rocking this shirt when I was his age, too. I got pictures of me as a little kid wearing Raiders, so it's an unbelievable opportunity. Both times I hit free agency, my family was texting me Raiders. I was like, hey, this time it's real, dude. So it's an unbelievable opportunity. It's so cool for me. Not in Oakland anymore, but Vegas will do it. That's good.
Out of curiosity, just with you in the Irish roots like that, there's a lot of Raiders fans over there, including in Ireland. Can you guys explain the lore of the Raiders and how it can even attract people who aren't even Americans, and how you've seen that play out?
I mean, the culture's unbelievable, and I think you saw that going back to LA, to Oakland. The culture's always been the same. It's always been a very inspired group, a group of fans that bring it all the time, and that's carried over in Vegas. And I think that's contagious. People want to be a part of it. People want to be a part of like a culture that has pride like that, and so that's certainly stayed the way the whole time with the Raiders.
Just early in the offseason workouts, what's it been like walking for Ashton Jensen, and also what's it been like working alongside Jackson Powers Johnson?
So Jackson's been great, man. He's obviously a really talented player, really strong, really athletic. So it's been great to work with him. We got a good relationship going so far. And then Jetty, we're just getting started, dude. I think you got to put the pads on for him to see what he can really do. But it's been great. I got a lot of confidence in our whole group. So.
A lot for Brady, for Joe Burrow. What does Geno Smith do where you can be like, okay, this guy's special, and we can do big things like he's done in previous times?
It's just the way he operates. He operates like a leader. He controls the offense. He gets everybody on the same page, and that's really the key. If everyone's on the same page, and you got good players, and you're competing, you got a good chance. And he really sets the tone with how he handles the offense as a whole.
When you obviously we talked earlier about how time in Cincinnati didn't quite end the way you probably wanted it to. What do you lean on to have the faith to know that you can get your career back on track the way you'd like?
I've always had confidence in myself, so that's not an issue. I'm going to go out there and compete no matter what. It's the NFL. You're going to win reps. You're going to lose reps. But I'm going to do things the right way, and I'm going to compete for sure.
All right, that's Alex Cappa. You know what I'm saying? Play football, do good, okay? Do okay. Play football, do good, okay? Or do okay, not do good. Play football, do okay. So I put that in the chat. Play football, do okay. Play football, do okay. All right. I ain't gonna lie to you. Even though I don't lie to you guys. But I'm just saying that, as a phrase. I ain't gonna lie to you. Cappa earned some points with me, where he really didn't have much points with me. When we first got him, they were already crowning him as a starter, And I was like, man, if Cappa is our starting guard, Cappa's cap. Okay? Cappa be capping. Cappa be capping. All right. But as things have progressed, there has been reports in camp that he's been a leader. And in this press conference, there's just something about players that have ties with the Raiders. When family members are Raider fans, or if they were as a child wearing Raider gear, something different. Example, JPJ, family Raider fans. Okay? I think there's a benefit there. I don't know, and honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't know exactly what it is, but there's just something about when a player has family ties in some aspect to the Shield. And you know, I gotta give him a shot. What I will say, his son was cute, but he don't need to be up at the podium. Especially if he's trying to hijack the press conference. And you know, kids are gonna be kids, but the play football do okay. You know, yeah. I could say some other stuff, but I'm gonna be respectful. But yeah, that one was kind of hard to listen to and try to get stuff out of because of play football do okay. But one thing he did say about the offense is that kind of ties into what Mostert was saying, is that this O-line is going to be moving. And that they're going to be ready for, you know, the way that it's looking, it seems like they'll be ready for any type of running situation they need to get into. So hopefully this turns into what's good about our O-line. Because everybody knows in Raider Nation that our O-line is what needs help. Especially if we're trying to have Ashton Jeanty be the Ashton Jeanty that everybody seems like they want Ashton Jeanty to be. Because I haven't really even told you guys how I really feel about Ashton Jeanty. Man, I did once. And I might have to break that down in another line. But it's encouraging And I'm not going. I'm saying it right now. I'm gonna give Alex Cappa a chance. Because if he don't do anything else, he's gonna try his best to not embarrass his family, especially if his family loves the Raiders. Because I ain't gonna lie to you, if my cousin was a Raider, like a player Raider, and he was out there stinking it up, he don't need to come to the cookout because he'll be on the menu. He would be getting grilled, fried, and laid to the side every chance I could get. Everything that would be close to, telling him that he sucks in the Raider uniform and making the family look bad, I would say it. So, there's some family pressure there. Because not everybody in the family is going to be like, oh, Alex, cool, you're a Raider. No. His cousin might be like, hey, you suck. What you doing? Holding people. Putting panties on the ground. For those that know, panties on the ground means a flag. Here at Raider Twuan. That's my little, So if you hear me say panties on the ground, that means a flag was thrown. Okay. But yeah, yeah. Somebody gonna grill him at the cookout. And like I said, Alex Cappa might be on the menu if he was part of my family. And if he was stinking it up. Okay. Hey, let's go ahead and get to the next person. You know what I'm saying? Mr. Parham. No, not Parham. Sorry. DJ. Give everybody the Glaze.
It's different deal. This OTA or this mini camp compared to last year this
Yeah, it's a lot different, really. Everything's just slowed down. Coming in as a rookie, you don't really know what to expect. Then this year, I kind of know what to expect. Been through it once already, so it slowed down. Feel a lot different now. I'm trying to bring the other rookies along, so it's definitely a little bit different from last year.
When you say slow down, it actually means you get to play faster.
Right, exactly.
So, do you notice that? Do you feel that?
Yeah, for sure. You're not trying to think about everything at once. You kind of just realize and figure out how to take it one play at a time. And like you said, it slows down, but you play faster because your mind's not racing and thinking about 100 things at one time. So, yeah, I definitely feel it, and I definitely see it.
Pete Carroll just a moment ago, coach was singing your praises, basically talking about how well you're standing out at right tackle. What do you think you've done to make such an impression on him so early?
Yeah, just trying to stay consistent. Not switching up or trying to do anything out of the ordinary. Just being me, staying consistent, showing up every day, competing with guys like Max. It's only gonna get me better, and I'm trying to help get him better. So when coaches see that, I'm out there going against one of the best pass rushers in the league consistently on a daily basis. You have no choice but to show out. But to stand out.
Have you said there's been any changes in your mentality, the way you approach the game, considering as a rookie you come in, you're trying to earn a job, and now it is your job for you to lose? Is there a difference in the mentality you bring?
Not really. When I came in, I kind of just try to strive, just to get better, a little bit better every day. Come with that mindset that like you said, it's a job at the end of the day. It's mine to. Last year was mine to gain. This year, I was mine to keep. So just keeping that steady mentality. Just realizing that every day is different. It might not look the same every day, but as long as I go out there and do what I have to do, improve on one small thing each day, I will see improvement in my whole game. So just trying to keep that mindset of just get better at one thing every day. And I'll grow overall.
You get to that point, where do you think you've gotten better at over the offseason? Where do you feel like you've made the most improvement?
Yeah, like I said, just really trying to slow everything down. Just seeing the game, one play at a time, one step at a time. Like I said, that helps me play faster. So, not trying to think about everything, too many things at once. Not trying to be perfect, because mistakes are going to happen.
But it's better to make them now in OTAs and in minicamp than during the season. So really just trying to slow everything down and play faster and continue to play with technique.
Yeah, regarding back to the NFL draft, there was a lot of speculation out there that the Raiders could target an offensive tackle early on, even in the first round. They didn't. So with that, how did you see that as a sign of belief from the new regime and a challenge to you to reach your potential?
Yeah, like I said, it is a sign of belief. They did bring in, two guys who are going to come and compete, but that's what I expected to do anyway, no matter where they drafted guys at, whether that be first round or third like they did. You want people to come in and compete and make you better, because you can't get complacent in this league. And, just going through it, going through the process, I always had belief, that I was going to be able to, come in and work every day. So wherever they ended up drafting a guy, nothing was really going to change for me. I was going to come out and try to, do what I had to do regardless.
They brought in Alex Cappa this offseason. What has that relationship been like, having a new guy right next to you and a veteran?
Yeah, he's played a good amount of ball, won Super Bowl. So, just to have a savvy vet guy like that, just come in and give me knowledge. Me and him communicate daily. It's been huge. It's helped me out a lot. Me and him just getting on the same page and, working with each other. It's huge when you can always bring a guy, like I said, he won a Super Bowl, to come in and, just drop knowledge on the young guys. Even me still learning, he's dropping knowledge every day, and I'm just trying to soak it up, be a sponge.
Obviously, you and Jackson Bauer Johnson came in, got drafted together, had to go through the same situation, becoming stars together. A lot of parallels there. How much of your relationship with him developed in terms of all of this, and where do you guys see yourselves going, taking this league within the second season?
Yeah, like you said, we came in, we were second and third round last year drafted, so we kind of bonded over all the rookie meetings and rookie minicamp and all that last year. And it's all. I feel like it's important to have a guy like that. You can kind of go through the process with. Like you said, I think we went in the same game last year, so just me and him learning at the same time. Seeing things at the same time. It's huge, and now we're both going into the second year. And like I said, we played there, we've been there, we have experience now. So hopefully we can continue to push it. We can be young guys, with leadership voices. Jackson's going to bring the energy every day. So hopefully we can be pillars, and just bring energy, bring leadership, help bring guys along.
All right. Thanks, DJ.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, DJ, give him the glaze. DJ, give him the glaze. You know what I'm saying? I know some people call him another name. Y'all who watch other channels call him something else, but I call him DJ, give him the glaze. All right. Hey, DJ is, DJ was a rookie last year at right tackle. I know a lot of people, a lot of people coming out of the draft, they were like, what the heck? Why did we get DJ Glaze? All of a sudden, he became our right tackle and held it down. He had his bumps and bruises, but overall, he played well for us at right tackle. And, he's even catching the eye of Pete Carroll early in his second year in camp. And, Pete Carroll talked about it. There's something special about a player, in his second year, after rookie year. Rookie year, they're trying to figure it out. They're trying to figure out how they can be, they're just trying to adjust to the NFL, as a rookie. And, he talked about, thank you, D-Menace, for putting that up. I was about to ask you to do that. So thank you, D-Menace, one of the value deacons here. He talked about how things are starting to slow down. And that's a benefit, yo. When the game slows down, it's actually the reverse. It's the reverse, effect. When the game slows down, they actually play faster. And DJ Glaze is already saying, hey, things are starting to slow down for me, which is a good thing. And, we've been I don't know how long we've been in search for one, but we might actually have our right tackle. And I'm not just talking about right tackle for the year. I'm talking about like Colton Miller-ish right tackle. You know, where it looks like he might play through his rookie contract and then get a little more. So this is a positive for us. There was concerns too that because we were changing coaches, when you change coaches, you also might have the possibility of changing schemes, right? But it seems like DJ Glaze is acclimating to whatever Chip Kelly is, putting down with Brandon Carroll, Brandon Carroll, the O-line coach, to have these guys doing what they're doing. So shout out to DJ Glaze, man. Because I remember, I was one of the ones that didn't go all like, what the heck? Who the heck is DJ Glaze? And the reason why is because when I looked at the draft and I started to look at how the draft was running. And when I say running, there's certain periods within the draft where you'll see, like, first round, obviously it's quarterback, and then like second or third round, all of a sudden you'll see somebody draft a corner. Then the next team drafts a corner. Then another team trades up and drafts a corner. So that's a run. You know what I'm saying? When you see a bunch of same position players getting drafted around the same time. And we were getting very close at that time of running out of tackles that were, what I thought could be possible starters, if not rotational guys. And there was a run on offensive tackles when they drafted DJ Glaze. So I understood why they you know what I'm saying? I really didn't know DJ Glaze, prior to the draft, but I understood why they had to pull the trigger on an offensive tackle if they were going to draft an offensive tackle. But I'm glad he's panning out so far, and we'll see what he does in year 2. Now I'm going to go into the chat. Shout out everybody. Frank Webb, Alfredo, the boss with the sauce. Yes, sir. Axel. Tyson, Nick. Okay. Got some new ones in here. Chewy. Hey, Chewy, my bro. Good to see you, man. Hey, if you got IG, hit me on IG. Up for review. JT is in the building. Egalitarian. What's good, my guy? Good to see you, man. Hope all is well. D Menace is in the building. Hunter Ellis is in the building. Hero is in the building. Tornado Ghost Good to see you. Okay. See who else. Hope I didn't miss anybody. Mike was in here. Afakasi. Hey, Afakasi has a wonderful channel. You definitely want to go over there and hit the subscribe button. Okay. M85, good to see you. And Estrada is in the building. All right, let me go back up. I just wanted to shout at everybody, and then I'm gonna read some of your guys' comments, and you know what I'm saying, some of your Raider gospel, if it is Raider gospel. See, Alfredo came in with the brown crackers, you know what I'm saying? Came in with the brown crackers. Axel, everything's gonna be okay, bro. Nabu faded. Good to see you. Tyson, you know what I'm saying? You calling me daddy. Sorry, bro. Sorry. You know what I'm saying? I got Shirley for that. Al's Ghost, my guy, good to see you. Hey, I'm good, Chewy. I'm good, dog. I'm good. JTA, appreciate you for stopping by. You know what I'm saying? Hit that like button. I have some questions in here. I saw them. Hunter, hey, pray all is well. Hey, look, hey, Hunter, look, I'm praying that you have a blessed night. You know what I'm saying? I pray that you wake up, you know what I'm saying, refreshed to start a wonderful new day, blessed day. Okay. And I pray a blessing over your family. Okay. That your family is healthy, and that they are one step closer to their dreams. In Jesus' name, amen. Hey, Hunter Ellis, hey, Pratt, hey, I will be talking about Pratt, but yes, Pratt was a good pickup. I like it. Some people don't like it, but I have reasons as to why I like it. Hero, you good? Okay. Hero, you good in my book. I had to I don't know if you guys saw it, but I had to kick some people out on this live because they were disrespectful. And Hero, I'm looking and I don't see much of disrespect. So you are good in my book. You are good in my book. Until you say something crazy, and then I got some gangsters in there. D Menace is probably waiting to give you a you know what I'm saying, a timeout or something, and I haven't gave him the green light on that one yet. I just saw the question. Yeah. Oh, Hunter, number 18, Jack Best, wide receiver, may be on the Nah, hey, Hunter, I don't think that's the case, man. Jack Best is not on the bubble. He is not on the bubble. Okay. He's actually, to be honest with you, he's one of the wide receivers that's actually ready to go. There's really not much. There's really not much to his game that needs to be improved. Besides just the traditional adjustment to the NFL and NFL playing against NFL corners. But yeah, everybody knows here what my opinion on Jack Best. Jack Best is one of the guys that you rip the plastic off and let it go. Tornado asks what Tornado go ask what about y'all quarterback situation? Honestly, our quarterback situation is Geno Smith being our starter. Aiden O'Connell is our backup. We did draft a quarterback in Cam Miller that has some upside. And then Carter Bradley's there. So it's not the complete best quarterback room, but it's at least a room that can get us by. I believe Geno is a starter in this league. And Aiden O'Connell is not that bad of a quarterback in the backup spot. Okay. So that's our situation with the quarterback. So it's not as bad as some other teams. I'll say it like that. D-Menace, thanks, man. Hit that like button. Hit that like. I'm going to go ahead and double tap the screen. Double tap the screen if you're on a mobile device. Hey, Hero, we again, D-Menace and all my deacons know that this is a obviously we talk a lot of Raiders, but other fans can come in, and talk if they are respectful. And there's members of the congregation that are not Raider fans. You know what I'm saying? So if you got a question about your team, you can always remind me what your team is, because sometimes I forget. But remind me what your team is, and if you got a question, I won't give you Raider gospel, but I'll give you some gospel on your team. Hey, M85, you said laundry on the field. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's one of those phrases. But for me, I say panties on the ground. Okay. So laundry on the field, panties on the ground. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. For sure. Hey, you ain't never lied, M85. More Glaze than Winchell's. You know what I'm saying? DJ Glaze is, glazing up, glazing some fools up. You know what I'm saying? And blocking for his quarterback. And we like that. For sure. For sure. And Estrada's in the building, man. Saluting everybody in the chat. Appreciate you, Ant. Hey, D Menace, hey, shout out to D Menace, the value deacon around here. Hey, sometimes I even forget about the Yes and Yes or Outdoors is a fishing channel. What I'm saying? You guys can subscribe to that too. Hey, look, I'm going to I don't think I'm gonna be on here much longer. Unless you guys got some, quick questions you guys want to put in. Um, I'll pay the bills while you guys are thinking about what you guys want to say in the chat. But you guys make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Again, it's free. You don't have to pay. Yeah. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Definitely support the channel that way. And also hit that like button. Again, I appreciate you guys hitting the like button. I see you guys got the likes, got the likes up. You know what I'm saying? Got the likes up. Also, you guys, in the description of all my videos and lives, if you are interested in being some channels have super chats. I have Venmo and Cash App. You see how that works? Say some channels got super chats, and I got Venmo and Cash App. So go ahead and hit that if you would like. It's not, there's no pressure on that. But if you're interested in doing that, that definitely will support the channel, and it goes back into the channel. There's actually a few things I would like to get, and again, it will be for your guys' benefit and viewing pleasure. But yeah, do that. Hit that subscribe button. I will be back with you guys probably sometime this weekend. Okay, I don't know if it'll be Saturday or Sunday, but I will be back with you guys with some Raider gospel, okay? With my handy dandy notebook and everything else. But yeah, man, I'm excited about what's cooking. We got some time until training camp. So hopefully these guys stay disciplined. Disciplined. Discipline between now and camp. Okay? And y'all know what I mean. Okay, Philly Eagles is in Philly Eagle. He said, Denver gonna run the division. I don't think so. No, I don't think so. If y'all know what that's from, put it in the chat. I'm gonna do it again. No, I don't think so. Okay, put that in the chat if you know what that means. If you know what that is. Okay. I don't think so. We got a good division, but I don't think it's gonna be Denver. I don't think it's Denver. Did they get better? Yes, they did. Got to give them that. But I think there's some other teams in the division that got something to say about that. So no, I don't think so. Anyway, hey, look, here at Raider Twuan, we are advocates for being an organ donor. Okay. So if you are interested in being an organ donor, it's always down in the description of all my videos and all my lives. Okay. So please be an organ donor. Reptar, I don't know that one. Okay. I don't know that one. I don't know that one, bro. But make sure you hit that like button. Double tap the screen. Also, Philadelphia Eagle, double tap the screen. Double tap the screen. So yeah, here at Raider Twuan, we're advocates for being an organ donor. Please be an organ donor. That's always down in the description of all my videos and live. Also, if you need prayer for you or your family member, hit me up on IG. Okay, that's also down in the description of all my videos and all my lives. Okay, if you are praying or needing a job, you know what I'm saying? If you're praying and needing, you know what I'm saying, help for your family, whatever it may be, you know, that you feel like you need prayer for, hit me up on IG. Okay, we got another deleted chat. D-Menace was on it. I'll probably look at it later. Actually, I might as well look at it now. Okay. D-Menace, hey, did you just time him out? Okay. I got it. Okay. Hey, thanks, D. Thanks, D. Appreciate that. I'm gonna have to go back into that later on. All right. So yeah, hey, look, go ahead and do that. Hit that like button again. I'm gonna say it again for those that don't know, and D-Menace knows because he handled it. Here we don't play around with organ donation. You know what I'm saying? Um, that's just something we ain't playing around with. Okay. So, and if you know me, then you already know. So, that's that. Here at Raider Twuan, we are advocates for being an organ donor. So please consider yourself and be an organ donor. Again, that's in the description of all my videos and lives. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Why? Because I like you. And let's go, Raiders.